What are the ethical implications of curated digital identities in our social media landscape? Introduction. The goal of our slideshow is to present a broad overview of the ethical implications being generated from our participation within the digital landscape. The rapid pace of our evolution into mass media culture has brought about an array of unforeseen negative consequences. Further academic and scientific study within a range of disciplines is necessary to discover effective solutions. Do the digital identities we present in social media reflect or mask our true identity? The Art of Cindy Sherman presents us with many exaggerated and provocative examples of the carefully curated digital identities of women. Her body of work provides both reflection and commentary on the era of the selfie, informing us of the cultural parameters in place that can limit, mask, and commodify our visual identity. Our reliance on identity profiles has become closely intertwined with our ability to exist in the modern digital era, intensifying our need to manage and manipulate how we are perceived to ensure we will find acceptance within our culture. Do carefully curated digital identities perpetuate the objectification of women? Research in objectification theory suggests that the external judgments of our physical appearance is often internalized by women, reinforcing the need for positive validation, approval, and acceptance. The nature of anonymity and digital detachment within social media has vastly increased the prevalence of harsh judgments and derogatory insults being directed at our visual identities, causing damaging psychological effects. In essence, social media reinforces the cycle of objectification when used as a platform that measures the value and worth of women based solely on appearance. Does presenting our identities through a digital lens contribute to the loss of real social connections? Because humans are social beings who rely on our physical and emotional relationships for survival, we are largely unable to adapt to the barriers presented by the lack of face-to-face connections in our online world. Since our dependence on social networking is significantly intertwined with our ability to exist in modern society, finding a balance in our digital life has become increasingly important to our well-being. Social media and the increase in isolation. Research increasingly demonstrates a connection between isolation, depression, and the use of social media. The disruptive nature of digital communication may play a significant role. However, studies also indicate there are positive exceptions, including communication in already established or long-distance relationships, as well as engagement with online support groups. Overall, data suggests that our use of social media has more wide-ranging detrimental effects that should be considered when choosing how to engage with it. Finally, social workers can play a significant role in facilitating new and meaningful community connections for those facing isolation.
Do carefully curated identities by celebrities or influencers set unattainable standards of beauty, especially for women, youth, or those with disabilities? Well, in short, the answer is yes. Many people who use social media have developed serious mental health issues, identity issues, and body dysmorphia, trying to emulate the beauty standards that are simply unattainable. According to a study on the connection between Instagram usage and body image, where 350 Australian and American women were investigated, the study's findings showed that just 30 minutes spent on social media might make women fixate negatively on their weight and attractiveness. And after viewing Fitspo photographs and idolizing celebrities, the subjects expressed unhappiness with their own bodies. So how exactly does social media affect women's beauty standards? Social media promotes Photoshop, filters, plastic surgery, and makeup. It has a significant impact on young people's self-esteem and mental health when they can't look like Instagram models. and young people have learned to hide any defects thanks to social media. Now more than ever, the criteria of beauty are doing irreparable damage. 9 out of 10 teenagers between the ages of 13 and 17 use social media, but even younger groups may use these sites despite age limits. The usage of social media more frequently when a person is younger has been linked to body image issues. So who is most impacted by carefully created identities? Well, studies show that young brains are especially vulnerable to social media. Popular social media platforms like Instagram and TikTok have become a competition on who gets the most likes, comments, and followers. They alter their appearance in any way possible because if you're considered conventionally attractive, you'll get more attention on social media. So in turn, kids and teens are chasing the physical validation that social media influencers and celebrities receive. And not only does social media reinforce constraining beauty standards, but it also gives a false perception of what beauty truly is. In a 2017 study, over 500,000 8th through 12th graders, the percentage of students reporting severe depression symptoms rose by 33% between 2010 and 2015, and the suicide rate for girls in that age range rose by 65% during that time. Smartphones were first released in 2007, and by 2015, 92% of teenagers and young adults had one. The use of smartphones during that time period and the rise in depression symptoms are correlated. The number of reports of students seeking counseling at colleges and universities during that time period sharply increased, mostly for depression and anxiety. Young children and teenagers often feel self-conscious when they see flawless photographs on social media. According to research, teenagers who use social media more frequently report feeling lonely and isolated. Social media can also reduce the amount of time children spend engaging in enjoyable activities like hobbies and exercise, and from doing important tasks like homework. Additionally, studies indicate that using social media at night prevents many teenagers from getting a good night's sleep. What are the psychological impacts of social media? Well, it's only human nature to compare ourselves to others, and social comparison can also inspire and motivate teens. But it also has a big downside as well. It can be detrimental to self-esteem, self-image, and well-being. And in addition, constant evaluation of oneself versus others can create judgmental, competitive outlook. One study found that people who make frequent social comparisons are more likely to experience envy, guilt, regret, and defensiveness.
What are the privacy and safety risks of sharing digital identity on social media? Social media has become the new way to interact with friends, family, and the world. They are websites and applications that allow individuals to create and share content online. Just last year alone, 1 in every 4 fraud victims were targeted on social media. However, setting privacy settings can still allow advertisers and scammers to your private information, such as name, birthday, location, life events, and personal interest. And that's really all they need to steal your identity. This is why it is important to be careful with what's shared online and only share the necessary information. Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram are the top 3 social media sites based on monthly active users. That is billions of people who could potentially have access to your data. People tend to overshare on social media, from sharing pictures of what they had for lunch, to selfies, to pictures of their children. And sometimes they are careless and don't remove important information such as location, school name, and street names. A few common privacy issues when it comes to social media are hacking, phishing, shared location, and data mining. Although social media companies update their policies regularly, it's really up to us to monitor what is shared online. Big data companies are creating personalities based on information collected from your devices that end up knowing more about you than your family and friends do. Who is harvesting our data? Social media companies collect the data and then sell them to advertisers who then advertise to us on those platforms and track our behaviors across our digital lives, which is a very lucrative business for advertisers. Following these 5 steps will help protect your online privacy and presence. 1. Check your privacy settings. Make sure your privacy settings are secure and pay attention to who has access to the content you share. 2. Limit sharing location data. Unless you're sharing an address, you don't need everyone to know where you're sharing your content from. 3. Keep your devices and apps up to date. Keeping your devices and apps up to date can help prevent hacking and potential computer viruses. 4. Use a password manager. Strong passwords make it harder for unauthorized people to log into your accounts. And 5. Enable two-factor authentication. Two-factor authentication adds a second layer of protection to your social media accounts. Social media identities and social connection for digital artists can be an amazing tool with huge benefits. Social media gives artists a way to potentially showcase their work to billions of people for free or at a reasonable price. It is important for artists to be able to connect with their audiences in the places where the audiences already are. But they also have a downfall to sharing art online. Someone can copy, share, and claim the art as their own. As an artist, creating an online presence is important. You must also keep up with the new trends such as artificial intelligence, NFT, and the metaverse. Having a good contract in place and sharing just enough content to promote your art while being cautious is key to digital artists. Thank you.